My favorite man is here on the couch with me. We've been dealing with this heat wave that started in parts of the state back on Sunday. Now we continue to brace through the rest of the heat, the low air quality. What should we be worried about? We have the expert here, Dr. Ali, who's going to let us know some things to look for, what to worry about, and how to get through this hot weather. First of all, welcome.
Thank you, Gil.
Great to see you.
Good to see you, too. Governor Lamont has activated the heat advisory protocol for the state of Connecticut as of Sunday, as you said. So we are seeing not only high temperatures, but the heat index and the air quality.
That's
something
key.
I want to really talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, right now in neighboring New Jersey, we had 6 hospitalizations at a graduation because of heat exhaustion. But also those with asthma, those with COPD. The air is, it's almost thicker now. It's more dense with the humidity. And think of it this way, the air is more stickier. So you get more particulates in the air that are trapped. We're concerned about, particulates 2.5 microns or more. And that's what really irritates the airways in people who have pre-existing conditions like COPD, asthma, lung cancer even.
And we do have a scale, if we want to throw that up on the screen, where we can look at even today what the forecast is. And Doc, it's interesting because it's not similar all around. You can have one area that's moderate, another one where there's more particulate matter or ozone in the air.
Precisely.
Where it would be to sensitive groups, and then it could be unhealthy. So with the heat that your body is trying to fight, now comes tough breathing.
Well, yeah, so people have been complaining to me that they're using their albuterol inhaler more. So I want to let people know that just don't spend that much time outdoors when you start getting exertional dyspnea, which is a fancy word for shortness of breath, doing simple walking. You don't have to be jogging, even walking up a staircase. You're really more short of breath than usual. Take your albuterol inhaler, but then go inside. Go where the humidity is less. Go where we have less, the air quality is improved. It's better. That's really important. And, also with heat, the New England Journal of Medicine has now shown studies where even pregnant women have to be really careful because the heat can actually affect your fetus. So we're seeing studies out of Georgia, University of Emory University Medical School has studied women who are pregnant, and you have a higher risk of preterm births as well.
And we tend to find, too, that urban areas, they do have the lower air quality often, but also we have a map, too, that we can show you have some of the more severe areas when it comes to the temperature. And Doc, this is a newer program with the National Weather Service. You can see the scale on the left, 0 to 4. 4 is the worst case. And you and I can look at this, and you see the Hartford area, the Connecticut River Valley. Look at Stamford. Look at parts of eastern Connecticut, some of those valleys where the heat is that much worse.
Right, because of the concrete and the radiation. Just scientific, the heat is trapped there. There's no airflow, usually.
Can you tell our viewers the difference? Because I've been trying to harp on this all morning between heat exhaustion and heat stroke, where you should call 911 with the heat stroke. What is the difference?
So heat exhaustion, the issue is you are sweating. Your body is trying to regulate your temperature. Sweating is really important because when you have sweating, your body's evaporating all that sweat. The heat is evaporating off. My concern is in people, elderly people, really young children who cannot really sweat as much. And then they can't regulate their heat. Now, they should be, if they start getting dizzy, confused,
dry skin,
and you notice that they're not sweating, that is an emergency. That you call 911 because that means they're not able to regulate their heat. People who are on diuretics, water pills, people who drink too much coffee, you're diuresing, you're not hydrating, you're actually taking all that water and urinating it out. Also, really interesting, antidepressants. Certain antidepressants affect the part of the brain called the hypothalamus, which helps regulate how the body regulates heat. So it's very important if you're not sweating and you're confused or somebody's dizzy, seeing double vision, you call 911
Call 911.
immediately.
I want to thank you so much for coming in. I've heard you have a big in-ground pool. What time?
I don't have an in-ground pool. I'm actually going to the hospital next.